Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 and the pitfuturestrading.com coming to you this Monday afternoon, February 10th, looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF, and I'm not even sure where to start. Tremendous amount happened today. Tremendous amount of downside support after today. As far as I did, listen, I made 8 trades today, which is a lot for me. I made money in 7 of them, and I lost money on the day because I had a very, very poor trade to start the day. But I'm very, very happy how I battled back and did not get stubborn, did not start fading a trend day, and actually went with the trend after that poor start. Now, it's not so much the trade itself. So we gapped, believe it or not, we gapped lower today, and we end up with a trend day up. I have 3 sets of single prints, a price probe to the upside, an outside day up. And that's pretty impressive considering we gapped lower. The 2 minuses, the volume was absolutely horrendous. I'm at 37 million. I'm averaging 67 million. So it did all this on very light volume. And we never could raise, we did raise the POC a couple of times, but we didn't raise it in the last 2 time frames. Okay. So this morning it opened in a perfect spot for me to take a put position because it was only about 30, 40 cents lower than where the gap would fill. Drove up immediately, and now I'm in 4 tick increments here. If I put it in ones, you would see how light it drove up on. So that's why, and again, no excuse for what I did, but I added when the gap filled. I thought we'd roll over. I added again at value low and M low, and then didn't get out, and I added some pretty good size, and then didn't get out until we basically got to settlement and above. I believe it was above settlement when I finally got out, and put me in a huge hole to start the day. And then from that point on, I started going long calls and was basically scalping them, especially throughout this part of the day because there was still a lot of uncertainty. Yes, we did have 1 set of single prints here, but we also ended 9 wide. And the question was, were the bears going to defend having an outside day up? And they did for a while, right? Yep, we made a new high in C. We tried it in E again. We had a poor high, and then they tried to force it down. And this is where I took my longs. I took a long in D, got out in E. I took a long in, I believe, F or G, got out. Took a long in I, got out. The one I didn't take, which really would have been a nice one, was J period. But it threw me, it was a head fake. J took out I, right? So we were 1 time framing up, and then it came down and stopped the 1 time framing up. So I was a little concerned. I thought we would test that single print. Now remember, we only had 1 set of single print. We only had 1 set at that time. Now, we had a lowest accepted price, and I've explained this before. It's where when A closes and B opens and either doesn't go down at all, goes down only a few ticks. It only went down 4 ticks. I generally won't let it go more than 5 ticks before I call it, then I won't think it's that powerful. Obviously, it was very powerful in B and C, and actually on the day, because we never could get it. And here's another thing that was, I know I'm all over the place, but a lot happened. Here is something that was very strange today. We had a set of single prints in B. They weren't huge. They were a decent set, but far from anything huge. We got into them in D, F, and G, and couldn't fill them. I can't recall a time that we got into a set of single prints, unless, we're not talking about when we have like news events or a tweet where we have a $2 set of single prints. Yes, I've seen them go in and not fill. But on a set that's not that big, to get in 3 times and not fill it, that was certainly a nuance. However, it's easy to say that at the end of the day. When J came down and took out I's low, I thought there was a chance then that we would finally fill those single prints, and I wanted to see how we reacted at the lowest accepted price. Obviously, I never got that chance. Totally reversed, went up, and started. Now, again, I got long in K when we popped. I got long in L. I got long 7 times I got long. So It's a victory for me, even though I lost small in the day. But man, that's what happens when you put yourself in a hole early. I would have had a great day from the long side otherwise. All right, destinations for tomorrow. Well, right now we have today's high of 334.75 on the upside, which is our all-time high in regular trade now is, and then 335.15, which is a pre-market all-time high from February 6th. Now, we're trading at 334.86. I wouldn't doubt between now and 8 o'clock that we have a new overnight all-time high in the SPY. For the downside, boy, are there plenty of them. We're going to see how well the bulls defend them tomorrow because there's a lot. First, we have the price probe. L's high, 334.20. Now, the ES did not have a set of signals in L, so they have a price spike. Once you took out E's high, that's a price spike as long as you close above it. I'm not calling mine a spike because it's just another set of single prints. Same thing, though. It's very important. So that first set of single prints started 333.90 and get filled at 82. The second set started 333.76 and get filled at 71. Then we're 9 wide at 333.32. Afternoon pullback low now, J, 333.02. The set of single prints, the third set, they started 332.87 and get filled at 77. Lowest accepted price of 332.74. And then today's low of 331.19. So that's a 155-point buy tail we have below the lowest accepted price. So there is a lot of good that the bulls did do today. Now, one other thing before I go to the charts. I always talk about afternoon pullback lows, afternoon rally highs. And a lot of times they are not the exact definition by any means by the book. But they're still good to me. They're still very good reference points. This is a true afternoon pullback low in J period. Because we still had a set of single prints that held, had the afternoon pullback low, and then went up after one time framing up. So that is a true afternoon pullback low. Okay, let's go to the charts. Monthly. Third of the month gone. One time framing up. Right now, this is 4 months with a third of it gone. Gap way below down to 304 and change level. Very, very healthy. You think that gap was powerful? I think that gap gets filled at 304 and change. We're trading at 334 and change. 30 points to the upside since that gap in SPY on the monthly. Weekly, don't forget, we have gaps in all 3 time frames still. Monthly, weekly, and daily. Weekly. Got above the trend line today. Got above not only the previous all-time high in the weekly, we got above last week's high. I mean, it's only one day into the week. I'm going to call it balance to up because we took out last week's high already. We're one time framing up 2 weeks, but I'm just going to call it balance to up. All right, we'll see how this week ends, whether we call it balance to up or firmly up, right? There's 4 days to go. A lot can happen, but very impressive considering 2 weeks ago we traded as low as 320 and change, and we're back up to almost 335. $15 move. And the daily, we teeted back and forth, even when we filled the gap and went up and took out Fridays. We went back and forth through this trend line on the daily a good part of the day before buyers finally won out and rip higher. We have an outside day up, which means we took out the previous day's low and closed above the previous day's high. That's very positive. So that, along with 3 sets of single prints, along with the price probe, tells me the odds suggest that buyers are looking to ramp this up and get away from this balance and make a new leg to the upside. I hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.